It just fixed
Okay, you want to get started?
I was just gonna say, you guys
before I have any more technical
guys want to get
difficulties.
started?
Okay, am I doing my thing?
Yes. Hi.
Hey,
Hi.
How's it going?
it's
going?
Yeah.
It's going. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been an exciting few weeks. We're finally gonna get a rest from all our guest spots, so I'm excited to not have to talk on other people's podcasts for a bit.
That's good.
Because man, that was stressful. We had like 8
Yeah.
or 7 in
lot.
like 2 weeks.
Yeah, it was a lot.
That was like too much. On top of our own recordings,
Yeah.
like we got kids and pets and responsibilities.
It felt like a real job.
Which, you know,
But we don't get paid for
I
it.
know. We need to start. We're
Charging.
putting in the hours in the elbow grease. We should get paid. Jessica, what are you drinking tonight?
I am drinking rum and Diet Coke, a classic for me, of course.
Sonia, what are you drinking?
I am drinking rum and cranberry juice. Gotta keep those UTIs in check. Drink your cranberry juice.
I'm drinking vodka and grapefruit juice.
Grapefruits.
Yeah, it's grapefruit juice.
Ew.
It's pink grapefruit.
That's like an old person food is grapefruit.
I never used to like it.
And
then
tapioca pudding. Because you're
I
old
love
bitch.
tapioca.
You're a fucking old bitch.
I am a bitch.
Yo!
You're so old.
Fuck you. I'm not that old.
Yes, you are.
I'm mid-30s, okay? That doesn't make me old.
That's the yeah. You're
It's
halfway
past
gone.
40.
Okay. but you have the taste of an old person.
A
That's
little.
what we're saying.
A little.
That is a 6-year-old
Yeah.
lady.
A 6-year-old lady. And I'm gonna like eating hard-boiled eggs soon and like porridge.
Garlic by like the pound because they're like.
Actually, I do that.
You fucking jeez.
And onions. Like I love my onions.
Oh, I do love onions. I do love a good
But like
onion.
the older you get, the more garlic you eat because it's supposed to like it's not true, but they're just like it helps with old people. Something.
Also, the old people.
You're supposed to put like garlic in your socks or in your ears or up your
Some
nose.
fucking bullshit.
Something there's somewhere in your body. You're
Oh yeah, and it's
put
supposed to
the
drain your
garlic.
sinuses and all that shit.
Up your anus. Yeah, it's the thing. Dispository. I can't.
Suppository. Yeah.
Maybe the last time I shit myself, that's what I should have done.
Just put garlic up. Oh,
Yeah, just
not
plug
a
it up with
tiny
garlic.
piece, like the whole thing.
The
Like
whole clove.
Fist, yeah.
Right up there.
Yeah. No. Fist of garlic.
Do it for science and then record the results.
Yeah, we don't know what happened.
Move over 2 girls, 1 cup. I'm coming through. 1 girl in a garlic loaf.
The whole thing.
Oh my gosh. You know how you can buy like a multiple garlics
Yeah.
and they come in like the little
Oh,
bag thing and they're all
yes.
one on top of
Yeah.
another? It's like garlic anal beads and you like shove all of them up there and then you just pull them one at a time.
Well, you should do that in nylon instead. So there's like an extra, like a little bit of a release. Because like when they're all 3 together, they're too jammed packed. You gotta like,
Yeah.
It has to be a little bit of a thing.
Space.
So like, yeah. So
So
wrap
it's
it
like
in
the little
nylon.
groups.
Yeah.
So homemade garlic anal beads.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Aggressive.
No, this sounds like a great idea. What could go wrong?
No, nothing could go wrong.
Have Dave like eat your ass after, and he's like, "Oh, it feels like being in an Italian restaurant."
Yeah.
You know?
Oh my god, he was just up here like a few minutes ago. You should have said that line a few minutes ago and it would have been perfect.
Well,
Yeah, you can repeat it to
you
him.
can play the podcast for him.
I will.
Okay, so we're doing things a little bit different this episode. So, Sonia, if you want to take this
I
away
will.
and explain what we are
I
doing,
will. Yeah. Okay. So we're playing Clueless Mean Girls trivia. So what it is,
Yeah.
it's back and forth between Clueless and then Mean Girls trivia, the movies that we were raised on. So that will be the first part, and then so like if you get it wrong, you drink. If you get it right, drink. It's all about drinking. And then after we're done the little trivia quiz, we are going to talk about mean girls we went to school with.
Oh, so many.
And like the drink word is bitch.
Oh, I like it.
Okay, ready. So I know the answers already. Well, you guys probably do too. I did not make it difficult.
So we'll drink if any of us get it wrong, then we have to drink.
Okay.
So we all have to get it right. And you have to say it last because you already know the answer.
I already know the answer.
Unless you forget them.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
What is Cher's last name? Horowitz, Hamptons, Hathorne, or Halsey?
I actually don't know this. Oh no. I forgot she had a last name.
She has a last name.
Cher. Yeah. Horowitz?
Yeah.
That's my guess.
Okay. I want to be different, so I'm going to say Hawthorne. Horowitz!
Woo, yay!
I don't have to
drink
drink.
anyway because Tanya got it wrong.
Okay, next one. What did Regina write about herself in the burn book? A, she's a grotsky little biatch. B, she's a fugly skank. C, she got a boob job. Or D, she's a fugly slut.
It's fugly slut.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say it's D. No, I'm saying B.
Okay, I'm going to say A because that's a good one. I like it. It's D.
I'm rocking it. I just remember the fugly. I was a little
Yeah,
confused.
we
So
got-
two fuglies
We
go
got
without
two
me.
wrong, so take 2 drinks.
Yay.
Oh, that juice is gross. It's too sweet.
I actually saw Mean Girls the musical a couple months ago. And it was really good. Like I said, I think I talked about it before, but like the music was like good but not memorable, at least for me, compared to like other musicals I've seen. But they brought it about to like now times because like in the movie there's no social media, right?
Yeah. None.
Because it was in the time before social media was like super poppin'. And yeah, so when when they did the musical, they added like a whole social media component where like Katie gets like caught with a video it's taken of her during the like Christmas thing, and that goes around, and that's why she got so popular because the video of her singing is what went viral, like stuff like that. It was a really cool take on the movie and like brought it into like cool times, like now times.
And making it
Yeah.
relatable.
Yeah, so relatable, guys.
All right. So what classic book is Clueless is based on? What's the classic book Clueless is based on? Jane Eyre, Little Women, Emma, or Miss Dalloway?
Emma from Jane Austen.
That's what I was gonna say too, Emma.
I'm gonna say Mrs. Dalloway.
I know it's not Little Women. That's all I know for sure.
It is Emma.
Yeah,
But I got it wrong. So you got it.
So we're just gonna drink. We're just drinking every question. That's just part of the fun, okay?
All right.
How are you doing listening at home? I hope you are getting all these answers right and having a drink along.
And you
with
can
us.
play on YouTube the next day. You can actually see it all. You know.
Oh yeah, there's slideshows.
Yeah,
like
I did a
Sonia
slideshow.
went full out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. Okay. I am a presentation connoisseur.
We love it.
No, not a connoisseur. That's the wrong word, guys. That's fine.
Entrepreneur.
I don't think that's it either.
No.
We know what you mean.
Yeah. Mastermind? Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right. So what's the prize for winning the Spring Fling Queen crown? Walker Brothers Pancake House gift certificate, Radio Shack gift certificate, IHOP gift certificate, Wayne Brothers Waffle House gift certificate.
Ooh.
Oh my god, I know it's the Waffle House gift certificate, but
Yeah, like is it like Walker Brothers Pancake House just sounds cool. Versus like
I know. Shit.
I'm going A. I'm
I'm gonna go D.
pancake
Wayne's
over
Brothers.
waffle.
Okay. I'm going to go.
Pancake versus waffle.
I'm going to go B.
Radio Shack.
Radio Shack.
Okay.
Oh.
It's Walker Brothers. It's A.
Oh.
So take 2 drinks, everybody.
Or one really big one.
Yeah. Everybody listening from home. Okay. Who says you're a virgin who can't drive? Dion,
Oh, I don't know.
I know this one.
Josh, Tay,
Nope.
or Amber?
It's shit.
Yeah, I know. I know. I
Amber.
know the character.
No,
Is
it's
that
or
her
is her
name,
name Dion?
Or is it no? It's Ty. 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 Tori.
I'm saying
C.
Amber.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go Josh. It's Ty.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it's Brittany Murphy's character, right?
Yeah.
You're a virgin who can't
Right.
drive. Yeah.
So take 2 drinks.
I didn't realize I forgot her name for a minute.
Well, that's why I
was
thought
just like,
Amber because she looks like an Amber, and I'm like, fuck.
yeah.
Amber's like
That's
the
what I
bitchy
thought.
one who like thinks she's friends with them, but
Drink,
they hate.
bitch.
Ah, it's bitchy. I said a bitch word.
Yeah, I remember who Amber was after.
Oh.
Like,
Okay.
yeah. Man, I haven't even watched these movies in a while. I gotta
I know.
refresh when I'm like forgetting character names, like main character names.
So, what's the opening line in Mean Girls? I know what you're thinking. Homeschooled kids are freaks. Hi, I'm Katie, and this is my first day of school. This is your lunch, okay? Me and my family just moved here from Africa.
I know this one. I know, but I'll let Dawn take a guess first.
Hi, my name is Katie, and this is my first day of school.
This is your lunch, okay?
I'm gonna go. Me and my family just moved here from Africa. This is your lunch.
Yeah. And I only know that because of a TikTok I recently passed on my scrolling adventures, and it was like one of those guys that's like, "Can you name this movie after the first line?" And that was the movie.
It ruined my quiz.
Fucking TikTok ruins everything.
All right. What's the name of the doodle that Tia shows Travis? Is it I wrote her name wrong somewhere. Is it Tia or Ty? I'm pretty sure it's Ty.
It's Ty.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so is it Yosemite Sam, Marvin the Martian, Garfield, or Charlie Brown?
Yosemite Sam.
Marvin the Martian.
Charlie
shit.
Brown. Oh, I got it wrong. It's Marvin the Martian.
How dare you, Sonia?
Oh, no.
Getting every question wrong on the quiz you wrote. It's almost like you want to get drunk.
Almost.
And it's just a coincidence.
Okay, what class do Aaron and Katie have together? Calculus, algebra, geometry, or trigonometry? It's math. Which
I
math?
know.
Yeah. I didn't know which math.
Algebra. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go with geometry. Oh, it's calculus. We all got it wrong.
wrong.
We all got a
We
drink.
suck at math. I don't believe in math. It's against my religion.
Yeah. No,
Math.
actually, I'm really good at math.
Math is a social construct.
Yeah, it is. We made it up.
Okay, this is the last one.
Okay.
Okay. Who is the actress that plays Dion? Is it Eliza Donovan,
No.
Stacey Dash, Brittany Murphy, or Ada Linares?
Stacey Dash.
Stacey Dash.
We're gonna go with Eliza Donovan. Stacey Dash.
What a great quiz.
Mm.
We really need to watch these movies again. Girls' night, girls' slumber party.
Slumber party, slumber party. Okay.
How did the listeners at home do on that quiz? If you let us know in the comments from wherever you're listening from.
Yeah.
Or on YouTube.
On YouTube.
YouTube.
And
Or
then
like
send
at
us
us
like
somewhere.
stories about like your high school experience with the Mean Girls.
Or
From
if
your
you
school.
were
we'll
the
read
mean
them
girl,
on our podcast. Yeah.
were
You
you the
listen
mean
to our
girl?
podcast, email us.
All right.
If you're a mean girl, you're probably a nurse now.
Yeah. That's pretty much it. That's where they all went. Or a meth head. Either they go to like meth, too much meth, and now they're not doing too good, or nurses. There was no in between.
No, there's no in between.
It's
No,
meth.
real estate agents
Yeah.
or
Oh,
MLMs.
that's true too.
MLM.
Oh yeah,
so many.
MLMs are a big
There's
one.
There's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're in like a MLM and you're like pushing it as not an MLM, then I'm assuming that you're a mean
Yeah.
girl.
You're a mean
Like some
girl
people are in
now.
MLMs. Well, yeah, because like if you're in an MLM and you know it's an MLM, you like the products or whatever else, you're telling people that, and you're like just by like you're not in it to really like make a lot of money.
No.
But if you're a recruiter, if you're like it's not scam, it's not MLM, it's not pyramid, blah blah. Just you need to get people to sign up under you to sell product and blah
Yeah.
blah blah blah, and they like
It's getting people to sign up
copy
under you.
paste those launches.
Just selling the
Yeah.
product alone, like because you like it, is one thing. But recruits,
Exactly.
that's when you can tell.
Yeah.
And if you cold message me to like be like, hey, long time no talk, you're fat now, hey, I have a product for that. Mean girl still.
Yeah.
You didn't evolve at all.
Here's the link to my podcast. That's
Like, oh, from my
good for you.
podcast.
This is good for you. Here's my podcast. But like,
Yeah.
I have supported so many of these fucking bitches drink with their fucking whatever kids things, MLM, whatever. They can start sharing my podcast. You whores. I don't.
You
Giving bitches a
ugly
break.
slut.
Yeah, you ugly sluts. Listen to my podcast.
No, but it's true. I am constantly supporting like my friends because I have a lot of friends that do like artistic endeavors and stuff like that, and it's like pulling tooth and nail to get the same like response back.
Yes. I'm tired of it putting out so much energy and not getting any in return. Like,
I know. It's like the three of us
yeah,
constantly supporting each other.
Yeah.
That's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's it.
Yeah.
Outside the circle, it's strangers on the internet, actually.
That's why people didn't last in our circle, because we are like cheerleaders and they're not. I feel like that's like a personality. Like, it's easy to be like, okay, like, bye. You weren't a cheerleader. You have to go.
Now
Like,
we're the mean girls.
we're being mean girls. Not really. I think if you're not like calling them out, like, hey, you
So and so.
Ashley.
Hey, you.
Hey, you, Ashley. You are a bitch. You didn't get to hang out with us anymore because you just cared about yourself.
Fucking Ashley.
Fucking Ashley.
It usually ends up in like a ghosting situation, I think.
Mhm.
Like we just stop like slowly talking to these people and slowly being involved with these people, and then all of a sudden they're strangers.
Strange.
They're not though. I spy on them on social media all
They
the time. and
spy
they
on
me
you!
too. So it's
They're obsessed with you.
okay. I don't know if you know this, but on Instagram, if you post a story, you can see exactly who looked at
yeah.
that story,
You could do that on Facebook
whether they
too.
follow you or not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could.
So, hi, people that
Ashley.
seen my stories.
Ashley.
Hi, Ashley.
Ashley.
Yeah. Hi, Ashley.
Is Ashley just our code name for all the mean girls?
And Brittany.
Yeah.
Ashley and Brittany.
Oh, I know a Brittany. That's a mean girl.
I
knew
Brittany was a mean girl too.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is such a mean girl name.
Honestly, okay, so when I had surgery, the second I seen the board and it tells you who your nurse is, and the name Brittany came up, I was like, fuck, I'm gonna hate this bitch. And I did.
Did you hate her?
Drink, by the way. It's a bitch. And of course, she was a nurse and a mean girl.
So I went to school with a Brittany. I don't know what Brittany's doing now, but like I went to like middle school.
I know
with
that,
her.
Brittany.
I know you do. And then she ended up going to the same high school as my friends. And then my baby daddy at the time. And she like, and some other girl, Rebecca, who used to be like nice to me. Like we used to be friends, like friendly. They are mean girls who told like the baby daddy that I was like, oh, out cheating on him, whatever. And like they
Gross.
wanted like us to break up and stuff. And then one time they called me out in the parking lot to like fight me at Zeller's on Queenston Nash. And I was going to, but I was with my baby daddy at the time. And he's like, okay, you need to not be so crazy. You have life inside you. I was like, fine. But like,
He's not calling out the people that want to fight like a
Right.
pregnant
no,
woman.
he
No.
he stayed in contact with these people. He kept being their friend. That's a red flag, ladies. Red flag is if the person who sperm donored your body does not stand up for you. It's a red flag.
That's like a red fucking blanket.
Yeah,
Like that's
That's the
huge.
flag.
That's like
Fucking Kool-Aid.
it's an
babe.
Amber Alert
a
waving
goddamn
in front of you,
parachute.
like
Just
telling
like-
you no,
yeah.
stop.
Yeah, that
That's
was
a parachute.
Yeah, that's my Brittany Mean Girl
My
story.
Brittany, so I lived in this like apartment with my mom when I was like I'm talking little, like 3. And my mom and she had this other young mom friend who had a kid my age, and they used to like switch babysitting, I guess. So like she would take care of me and Brittany and vice versa. And like they would like bathe us together and shit, you know, the shit you do with 3-year-olds. And then I don't know what happened. I was a toddler, but something happened where there was a rift between the two moms, okay? So they hated each other. Now, when I say moms, they're like 21 years old, 22 years old, but they hate each other now, okay? And so they split. Then my mom and me move, and I start a new school. Halfway through the year, or well, I guess went to school for a couple more years, but then a couple years, grade 1. It's grade 1 now. And who walks through that door but Brittany? And I was like, hey, I used to know you. And she's like, yeah, I used to know you too. But we didn't talk anymore because our moms hate each other. Yeah. Then she ended up getting all the friends I worked really hard to make to like hang out with her. And because she knew Spice Girls and I didn't at the time,
Oh,
I was way behind. I didn't have access to things.
Yeah.
All the girls liked her, and she was like pretty, so like all the boys liked her and stuff like that, so they would like hog the swing sets and stuff. And then one day her mom came to volunteer for hair lice checks and looked at my hair and said I had hair lice and sent me home. And then my mom had the entire neighborhood check my hair and no one found lice.
That's embarrassing.
So Brittany's mom just sent me home for lice. And this is back in the day where they did like the checks in the class.
yeah, like in front of all
everybody.
the other kids.
So if you knew someone left, you knew they had
Yeah.
lice. And yeah, so it wasn't even just Brittany, it was Brittany's mom. And you know, and then I didn't see Brittany until later on in like high school, and she was the woman that would sleep with your boyfriend. She didn't sleep with my boyfriend. I didn't have boyfriends in high school, but she would sleep with your boyfriend if you did. I don't know where she is now. But
Fuck you, Brittany.
hi, Britt. Fuck you, Brittany. Fuck your mom too.
Like that's like alert
Stupid
behavior.
bitch.
Like little
Yeah.
assholes learn it from big assholes, you know? So
Yeah.
like
That's exactly it.
that's you know they are bad moms. So if you're like
Yes.
we're a mean child, it's because you have bad parents. And if your kids are mean kids, it's because you're a bad parent. I'm sorry. I have too
Yeah.
many kids that have been bullied because of their differences, and you didn't teach your kids right. So fuck you.
Exactly.
Well, you know what? You probably nowadays it's probably because you're working too much. You don't have time to raise your kids. I feel that like that sucks, but you know,
Yeah, it's like a bunch of things, and then like sometimes you know the bullied kid starts to become aggressive because they're not getting any support from the school because that whole zero tolerance bullying doesn't exist.
It doesn't.
You know, like they're always like zero tolerance bullying, but then when I was like, hey, there's all these people bullying my kid, they're like, oh, well, there's not really anything we can do about that. But then the minute my kid sticks up for himself, all of a sudden,
yeah. So like my son went to Memorial City School in Hamilton. It's right there on Ottawa Street. And he was getting bullied, not by just by students, by the teachers too. So like his teacher, I forget her name because I don't remember things. Brittany or Ashley every day. So first it was fine, but then he was getting bullied and there was no safety plan in place. And he was a flight risk. Like he left the building and stuff. No safety plan. Disclaimer, my child has autism. Okay. So, and this school is where you send autism kids, but he was in the mainstream school. So there was nothing being done. So I complained to the superintendent, and then the principal started complaining to people that I complained about him. I heard him complaining. He thought he was whispering. And then I had a meeting and they're like, well, since your son doesn't know he's being bullied, you're just making it up because he has autism. He doesn't realize what's happening. He's like, like you think since it's you shouldn't have to worry about it. He needs to learn to brush things off. So I was like, what? Like it was horrible. They blame me for trying to be too protective. They're like, well, he doesn't know what's happening, so it doesn't matter. And then every day
What logic is that?
Right? Yeah. Then almost every day they would be like, oh, Brandon was rubbing his hands on the wall today. Fucking sounds like he has autism. Brandon cried for Brandon cried for no reason today. Sounds like he has autism. Like, oh, I had to tell Brandon to stop being a baby today. So his teacher would call him a baby. Like this is So like it's not just kids who are assholes, mean girls. Women are mean girls to children. But like then we moved and then we went to a different school, which is amazing, Peace Bridge in Fort Erie. And Constantine started getting bullied in their class. And then it was like one of Danica's friends found out and told somebody. The school brought in a whole team that week, an anti-bullying team to talk to kids, the social worker, and then social workers worked with the class. Like they had the whole thing.
That's what's supposed to happen.
I know, that's
the right thing
like
to
it's
do.
just like it really depends on how much the school actually cares about your children.
Yeah.
And it was Memorial City Schools garbage. It should be shut down. But unfortunately, there's not enough schools in the area.
Oh, like one school will get shut down. Don't worry. Like they shut down schools all the time.
Yeah, but like it's
And then they'll just make a school and kids will get bullied all the time. It's just, that's how the cycle is. It's gross.
Yeah, Hamilton's really bad for like bullying. I mean, just a few years ago, there was I just want to look up his name because I don't want to be insensitive, but there was that child that had a history of being bullied who ended up being stabbed,
murdered
on school property. Yeah, murdered
in front of his mother.
Churchill. And
Yeah.
I know what kid you're talking. Like it was like 20 kids or whatever, and his mom couldn't get to him.
No, he was going into the car.
It was 3 kids. He went to the office to ask for someone to walk him out because he knew the bullies were there, and admin refused. And so he ran to his mom's car, and they got to him first, and the 3 teenagers stabbed him. His name was Devin Selby. So and he was only like 15 or something, 14 or 15.
Just a baby.
Yeah.
And
baby.
And he got stabbed to death.
History of being bullied
in front of his mother, right at his car.
Yep. Yeah. And like, the kids all blocked, so like couldn't get. It was just disgusting.
Yeah.
That was a horrible situation. Nicholas was in grade 7 or 8 at that time. I think it was grade 8. And then he was trying to make a joke to me. He's like, maybe I should go to Churchill because like after what happened. And I'm like, that's not funny. That's not funny at all. Like some kid died. And so he's like, I'm not insensitive about that, Mom. I was just saying like, how you're so, because I'm strict. Like I wouldn't even let my kid go to Glendale. I was like, no, you're going to a Catholic school where nothing's going to happen. Well, things happen there too, but.
I was going to say, Catholic school's going to be pretty bad too.
But like, there's less gangs there, So I was like, I'm sending you to Catholic school. And he got
All
back
the gangs are religious. They
Right,
just carry
yeah.
crucifixes around. Like,
The power of Christ.
shoot little
compels
water
you.
guns of
with
holy
Jesus
water.
or are you with Moses? Like, which one?
Yeah.
No, I just have to worry about sexual assault now in his school, that he's not like raped. But like other than that,
From the
no
teachers.
gangs.
Sorry.
Yeah, by the teachers.
From the fucking
Yeah.
teachers.
Yeah, so in grade 10, one of the teachers got a sexual assault charge because a previous student remembered them, brought it to social media, and then it blew up and they had to charge him.
Yeah.
But he wasn't fired at first. They let him work for like the next week.
Yeah,
So
they do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can get all his raping in.
Yeah.
Jeez.
They're like, you have a timeline. Get it
Yeah,
in now.
Yeah. Get it out of your system. Jeez.
Oh my gosh. Like, I used to have a mean girl boss at Pizza Hut.
So did
and
I.
I had a
was
mean girl boss
Oh my
too.
god.
Let's do your story
What
first.
is- Okay, I just think I don't know if it's just lonely women on a power trip, because this was a woman who like owned her own house and had cats and no life. Like, she got upset once because one of the shift managers was throwing a party and she didn't get an invite because she was like a 40-year-old woman and we were all like in our 20s. And it was, a house party. Like, why are we going to invite our 40-year-old boss to like one of the shift manager's boyfriend's birthday to get, smashed and shit? But she would do things like split tips, even though she's salaried, and write down that she trained you, even though you weren't trained on things. And then during an inspection, blame you
If you got it wrong.
for not doing the thing properly. Yeah. And like, she would always make like snide comments. Especially if like I was like 23. I was obviously more attractive than her in my hairnet and apron. And so I would get very good tips that I tried to hide from her, but she would constantly make snide remarks about like, men hitting on me and stuff like that. And I'm like, I'm just trying to make tips here, dude. Like, that's part of I'm a waitress. What do you want from me? Like, what? And I used to cry in the bathroom like constantly because she was just a horrible person to be around. Anytime I saw her name on the schedule, I was just like dreading that shift.
Mhm.
It was always the worst. Okay. Who wants to tell about their next mean boss?
Sonia, you can go.
Okay, sure. Okay. So this was actually recently. Where I live, there's one place I'm qualified to work at because I'm not bilingual. I'm trying, and but so the only job I'm qualified for is Walmart. So I applied, I got the job, and then I was being trained. And we touched base on this before, but like the supervisor, not like the person who hired me, just the person who's supposed to be training me. She would she had like a communication book, and like she would write tasks I'm supposed to do, but then tell me different tasks. So I would not do any of the tasks in the book because she verbally told me to do different tasks. So then she'd write notes in I never looked in the book because I worked the same shift as her. So there was no reason for me to ever look in the communication book. And then you left all this garbage out. Like the one time she started telling me I did things that I didn't do. She's like, oh, like you left yesterday and left garbage everywhere. I was like, did I? Like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I don't remember doing that. I apologize. Like that, I didn't mean to do that.
She's just gaslighting you.
Yeah. And then there was another time where like, she's like, oh, the aisles weren't done nicely. Like it was she's like, there's no way shelves can get that messed up in like the 3 hours you were there from when it closed. Like, so she's just like, you're doing all this wrong. You're doing this wrong. And then one day she left before me and I had to write a note to be like, okay, this is what happened. And then I looked back because I was curious because, I don't know. And then I saw these notes she wrote to me and like her responding to me. And then I was like, oh my God, like I've been feeling crazy. So before I read these notes, I felt crazy. Like I felt like there's something going on. Like I don't understand. Like I just felt crazy. And then I was like, oh my God, I'm not fucking crazy. Like, this woman is writing notes. So then I went to my boss who hired me. And I was like, okay, like there's something happening. And then everybody around me, like even like my other peers or whatever, they're like, yeah, like we noticed this. And like when so-and-so comes back from vacation, like this person's getting talked to. Like everyone else noticed it. So like it wasn't like something. So I felt
it wasn't just you.
Yeah, but unfortunately the damage was already done. The person did get in a lot of trouble, like so much trouble. Like when she came out of the meeting, she was crying. Like, but it was too late. Like I was like, I can't work in this department when this person is here. So since I quit Walmart, the only place I'm qualified to work at, I can no longer work there. So because of this,
so if you want to help support Sonia, we have a Patreon.
We have Patreon, we have merch, we have tips, whatever. But like, so I'm no longer the only place I'm allowed to work at. I'm no longer allowed to work at because I had to quit. So like that looks poorly on your application for the next time you try.
I think you were actually working that job when we first started.
Oh
this
yeah,
podcast.
maybe.
Yeah. So I think like if anyone wants to go back and listen to our first few episodes, I think almost like our first few episodes, they always start with like Sonia being like, "Oh my gosh, you won't believe what happened."
Like
today.
I'm feeling crazy. Yeah, but it was like it was mentally bad. Where like it got so bad, like that's the only place I do like a lot of shopping. Where like I couldn't go in there when I knew time she was working. Like that was like, she fucked up my life. Like she made things stressful for me. But like when I'm in there now, everyone's so sweet to me. Like there's no hard feelings between the other staff or anything. Like my boss, she like totally doesn't hate me or anything. Like she's so sweet and the other people are so sweet. And then I glare at the other woman every time I walk past her.
All of us should go there. We should just all like posse, like be mean girls at Walmart.
Stare at her and just do
we'll just rearrange stuff in her department.
That's so mean, but that's such a good idea.
We'll do it at the end of the day too.
Yeah,
so it's like
after
when
she
comes
home,
in.
Yeah. Like, and she's the first one there in the morning. So like just knock everything off the shelves. Don't even like put it in bad places. Just grab everything. Knock it off.
We put them all in carts and then just leave the carts in the aisle.
That's such a good idea.
And then you have to start it. And go through it.
If I was not an adult, I would do that.
I'm always just like, if I didn't have like responsibilities, because if I didn't have kids, I would do that. Like, what's the worst that can happen? I spend like a week in jail at the most.
There's no consequences. You're just a dick.
There might be consequences. I don't know, vandalism. Yeah. They pass a vandalism
because
charge,
you're putting
maybe?
it in your cart and you're leaving it in the store. Like you're not ruining anything. You're just misplacing it. Like you're just like putting it in an alternate location. Like it's not anything bad. There's like no rules against it. It's just a dick move.
They start making a rule against it. They're like, no, this is illegal now. If you touch something in a store, you have to pick it up and buy it.
Right. Domri, tell me about your bassholes. Your bassholes.
Okay. I had this really. I have two.
Is that like bitch assholes?
It is. Yeah.
So I have two. Okay, and one time I almost got fired because of it. Okay, so I'm gonna go with the one. She was younger. Her name was Taylor. She was like a bitch. Like she hated me. I don't know why. She just did. And she was the one that like had to train me for supervisor position because she was a manager. And so anyway, it was a headache with her, like working with her. So the one day she posts the schedule and I couldn't work one of the days because I had Nicholas. And so I told her, I'm like, look, I can't work that day. And she's like, well, give your shift away. I don't care. And I was like, technically, that's not really my responsibility. That's your job, but I can try. So I asked everyone and no one would take it. So I told her, I'm like, no one's taking it, but I can't work. And she's like, I guess you're just going to have to figure it out. And I was like, no, you have to figure it out. Like, it's your job. And I don't have childcare. Like, and she's just like, find childcare. I'm like, why are you being such a cunt? Like, I literally. So anyway, she was just like, just going off. And then so I left, whatever. Next day, I sleep in, right? Because I'm not going in because I have Nicholas. So she's blowing up my phone. I'm ignoring it. And she was just like, you need to get here in 5 minutes or I'm taking you off the schedule. And I didn't show up, obviously. And so I called the next day and I'm like, seeing you took me off the schedule. And she's like, yep. And then hung up on me. And I'm like, okay. So a week goes by and I'm like, I guess I'm fired. And then one of my coworkers, Leslie, she's just like, by the way, you gotta, no, it wasn't Leslie, it was Shelly. Anyway, she's like, you gotta come in. What's her name? The district manager has been asking what's going on. So then I called Taylor again and I was just like, hi. And she's like, so do you want to be put on the schedule? And I was like, I guess, like, can you make sure that you make it like where I can work? And she's like, yeah, I actually need you this Tuesday because Joey quit. And I was like,
this is bad management. You should have like been like, she fired me. Like,
yeah. Well, what had happened is the district manager talked to Taylor and was like, you can't take her off the schedule. You can't do that. That's illegal. Like, and she's like, she didn't even mention that I called her a cunt. Like, that would have been grounds. That would have made sense.
That's when you're supposed to ask for a raise.
Right? I'll come back if you give me more money.
I was told I was fired. I guess if you want me back on the schedule, it's another like 50 cents an hour minimum.
Right?
I guess that's just what's going to have to happen.
Yeah,
or else it's an illegal firing and I'm going to sue your ass. Like, win-win, right?
But yeah, so that was one time. And then another time, different manager. Her name is Heather. And what had happened is
Heather is another bitch name. I just want to point that out.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Another
I just got a Heather in my head.
Yeah, it's another mean girl name. Yeah.
So again, I'm still working at Tim Hortons, just a new manager. And I'm 5 months pregnant. And I start having cramps. And I mean severe cramps. I thought I was going into labor. And so I was like crying and like everything. And then someone called the paramedics to drive me to the hospital. So the paramedics come in through the back door, get me on the gurney. My manager comes up and she's like, "Kay, I need you to get a doctor's note when you get to the hospital." I'm on a stretcher, bitch. What? Like, you need a doctor's note? You know where I'm going, right?
Like that's insane.
Dropping me off at home. Like, what?
Could you imagine if they did those? They're like, okay, here you go.
Like, stop. No, but she asked for a doctor's note. So then I got her one when I got to the hospital. I was like, fuck this bitch, right? So I was like, can you just write a note? Like, whatever. So they did. I go back like 3 days after. It wasn't like preterm labor, but like, I don't know what happened. Maybe Caleb was on a nerve. I don't know.
So that happens. They're assholes.
Yeah. So all they said is like rest lots, don't overstrain, whatever, right? But they didn't put that on the note. All they said was came in with abdominal pain and just relax or something. They said the word relax or whatever. I don't know what they said. So anyway, I go in with my doctor's note and Heather looks at it. She's like, oh, and I said like I can't do bagel bar because I can't bend with like my belly and that. So Heather looks at the note. She's like, well, that's not what your note says. And I was like, it's common sense. I went to a hospital. Taking it easy. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. And so she's like, fine, I guess. Like, anyway, but those were my two managers.
I just thought that would be such a good like job idea. Like you get like a fake kind of ambulance and you dress as paramedics and people like call you to get out of work.
That's a great
And then
idea.
you like go. Yeah, and then you just drop them off at home and it's just like a pricier taxi service.
Yeah.
Where we also take your blood pressure.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's marketing. That's what we're gonna do. When I move to Ontario, we're gonna have our podcast, but we also need to pay the bills. So we will have this like we'll get an old ice cream truck and we'll paint it
ambulance away or
wait,
something.
Is it illegal to fake being a paramedic? I'm pretty sure it is.
No, they won't look exactly the same. And our uniforms won't look exactly the same. So it'll be okay.
And if they ask us if we're paramedics, we'll say no.
Right. Well, if you're first aid trained, you'd be like, "Oh, I'm first aid trained. Don't worry." Like,
Yeah.
you don't have to
I'm a first responder.
But
Whatever,
but that's not lying. So
Yeah.
job.
And the onus is on the person that calls us.
That's right.
Because it's the person that calls us that'll be lying. They'll be faking sick, telling their boss that they are going to the hospital, that kind of thing. We're just a taxi service that checks your blood pressure and vitals.
Yeah, we are doing first aid. We ask if you're okay. We do a mental health check. We are first.
We'll have like a blood pressure cuff,
legit. We'll be legit
thermometer.
first responders. Yeah. See, first respond taxi service. That's it. Bam. But then, like, what happens if the boss knows? Because the boss used the service.
Well, that's on the person calling us to figure it out. Maybe it'll be like an unspoken word where like everyone just kind of accepts that if someone's calling us, they need to get out of work right now.
Yeah.
Like there's just something going on.
It's mental health support. That's what we are. That's when you have to leave work.
It's a way to like make the upper management bosses that aren't there.
Yeah.
The
CEOs
then the managers write it down.
The CEOs who are making millions on your 10 cents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Worker solidarity and all that.
Exactly. And then you can like tax it or something. Like so many rides, paramedic rides, you get like, you can put it on your taxes. Like I was in the hospital too much.
There you go.
There you go.
So you were brainstorming, coming up with good business strategies to get back at those mean girls.
We become not nurses. There's
a Megan. I have a mean girl named Megan, which is also my middle name. But there was a mean girl named Megan. So I went to this one school that only went up to grade 6. So after grade 6, you had to go to this other school that went all the way up to grade 8. And so what would end up happening at this other school was they would have like all split classes because they had so few under grade 6 because we all went to the other school. So they'd have like grade 1 and 2, grade 3 and 4, grade 5 and 6, but then they'd have 3 grade 7 classes and 3 grade 8 classes. And this girl, Megan, she was like in a clique. She was like the leader of the clique with like 2 cronies behind her, like exactly what you'd think in the movies,
pack,
you know?
Yeah.
And her mom worked at the school. She was like admin or something. And I remember we were going up for like prime minister, because we didn't do presidents. We did prime minister of the school. I don't know. And I want to say my marketing strategy was a lot better. My speech skills were a lot better. My speech writing skills were a lot better. And I was a lot funnier. She was one of those like, always ends the end of her sentences with a question. And she always talks like this, and she likes to play dumb to like get the boys to like her, like lots of 13-year-olds do, but she was like the popular mean girl 13. Like she'd say something and you weren't quite sure if it was mean.
Yeah.
Like that kind of stuff. Like, very sly. Yeah, like
Yes.
dated the popular guy and everything like that. And like I was like I'm a shoo-in. I'm gonna win. And no, she won. And there was a rumor going around that her mom rigged the election. So that's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
I was wrong.
I love how like almost every single mean girl, their mom either worked or volunteered at the school. Like we had that when I was growing up too. The mean girl's mom, I think her name was it was a Stephanie. Her name was Stephanie, and she was mean. And there was like a Carly who was mean. Although like this one time I was mean to Carly. So she was like mean to me. And then I'm pretty sure she was bulimic, which is really sad. And she was like being mean to me. I was like, get away from me. You smell like vomit. You always smell like vomit. like just get away from me. And like
oh, that's harsh.
So like I didn't know she was bulimic, but I'm sure she was. She was like skeleton and part of that group, and she smelled like vomit. So I'm just assuming. but you can't just be mean to somebody and then like they're gonna take it all the time, because they're not. Sometimes you're on your period and you're cranky, and then you're mean.
I I never meant to be the mean girl. You know what I mean? Like, it was always kind of accidental. It was like I was terrible at holding people's secrets, but I always wanted to know them. So I'd accidentally tell your secret all the time. I'm better at that now as a grown-ass person. But when I was like 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, don't tell me anything because I'm going to tell somebody to make myself look interesting. And then you're going to hate me for it. And then I'm going to blame you for the fact that you told me the secret in the first place. It was that much of a secret. You should have told me. Like, we were in we're at a school. It's public property. Like, that was on you. You know, like stuff like that. I yeah. Well, that was the thing. I would always like argue, and so I was so good at that when I was like young that I would like, especially like 12-year-olds, they don't know, but I would always, I guess I like got so good at like articulating very young that I used that to my advantage to make like my smartness seem like I'm being nice, but actually I'm being a terrible friend to you. But I never realized that I was doing it until I was like older. And then I was like, oh my gosh, how was I so terrible? Damn it. Then I realized, oh shit, no wonder people thought I was weird and shit because I was doing all this shit to get people to like me and being rude to the people that were trying to like me.
I was like mean to started a rumor about somebody one time, and I still feel guilty about it to this day. I feel so bad for this person. And like right after I felt terrible too. So there was some person that like people made like jokes that they didn't like to like bathe or whatever. So like I joined in on the fun and drew a cartoon of them being afraid of the bathtub. And it went around the class. And then
you made them a meme?
Yeah. And then and then it went around the class. And then the teacher got it and it's like, who did this? But then like one of the other people took the blame because they wanted to be cool. They're like, I did it, ha 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 ha. But like, so that I'm sure that person thinks that person did it. But she was my friend. That makes it worse. Okay. Like
that does
so much worse. So to this day I feel completely guilty about it, and I was 13 at the time. So like
like that's the age. I don't know what it is.
One time
you be mean to everyone.
Yeah. So one time I was like an actual bully, and I still feel guilty about it. Like that's because I'm not a fucking asshole. Like that's but like yeah. So sometimes even nice people can be the mean girl.
Yeah. I was trying to like play the part of the mean girl, but in reality be like nice. Put off that like tough exterior, like whoa, but then in reality not be mean. I know my tone can come off as mean sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't mean
I can come across as a condescending hoe, but like I'm not trying to be. I can't help it. I have autism. I'm not blaming I'm not using that as an excuse. Like I just like I don't want to be that way, but sometimes it happens, right? Because
we're working on it. It's work in progress.
It is. I'm like, sometimes I catch myself. I'm like, oh shit, like sorry. But it's mostly
sometimes I'm even listening to this podcast and I'm like, oh shit, that didn't sound good when I said that. Damn it.
It doesn't matter. People who like us, it's fine. We might not get any new listeners, but it's cool. I am trying to think of another mean. Mostly high school was lots of mean girls for me. And I didn't even go to high school. I dropped out of school in the 9th grade. Like that was
I was kind of a mean girl in high school. Like not in the beginning of high school, I was a nerd. But like the end of high school, right before I got pregnant, my final year, I was a mean girl. But I hated everyone. Okay, like everyone. Like it didn't matter. I just
so nothing's changed.
Nothing has changed. That's where you came out of your like
so bitchy. Like actually how I made a friend of mine.
Bitch.
Oh, yep.
I'm almost
a friend of mine.
Drink.
Was because she came up to me and she's like, you look like such a bitch. It's just like, so do you. And she was like, come with me to class. And I was like, okay. Like that's how we like became friends. So but like I was a bitch to everyone because so like David was popular but not popular. Like he was like the silent Brody guy that people wanted like to like hang out and or date like certain people we know. And
It's because he's tall.
yeah,
He's so tall, yeah.
Tall men, like if you were like average looking tall man in high school, like you didn't have to be popular in a group. You were
he
just
was
like
like the
interesting.
smoker that like hung out with like these other people, and like they all wanted to be his friend or date him, and like so then I had to be bitchy with all these other girls who wanted him, and I was all like, get away from my man kind of thing, like crazy teenage shit. Yeah. And now I'm all like, fucking someone take him. Like, just take him.
Just take him.
I used to have like men that I didn't find attractive in like grade school and high school would have crushes on me, and they were never the guys I wanted to have crushes on me. And so like what would end up happening generally, they were not like attractive. They were the weird kids. The weird kids had crushes on me, okay?
Yeah.
And I was trying to not be the weird kid. That wasn't working out so well, but I was trying so hard to distance myself that I started like because people like all the girls would come and they'd be like, did you know so and so has a crush on you? Ha ha ha, can you believe it? And I'd be like, oh my gosh, that's so gross. Like, ew. And then that always got back to the kid. I always feel so bad because it's like I didn't want to say any of that. Like in real life terms, I'm sorry, guys, I'm just not attracted to you right now.
Yeah.
I'm sure half of them had a glow up. I'm sure half of them are attractive now.
Yeah, like boys
But
at like
I'm-
15 or so gawky looking. They're just like
No,
the poor things.
Yeah.
I know. I missed out. I should have dated them when they were weird.
Yeah, just no.
It's my bad. That was my bad.
Aren't you with
okay?
the weird
Peer
one
pressure and
now?
all that. Yeah, well, he was like normal in
He was
school. He just was like
normal.
he went to like private. My husband went to private school,
Mm-hmm.
and then he moved to Ontario from Quebec, and then he went to public school where he was weird for the fact that he couldn't speak English well.
That's not really
And that was
weird.
That was the weird trait. Yeah, but then he learned English and joined like a band in high school, and then was cool. So
Yeah.
like he no struggle.
No
he just had to learn a
struggle,
second
no
language.
struggle.
He learned the second language and was fine.
I met Kyle when he was in university and I was still in high school. So because I went back. Remember, I dropped out, but then I had a kid, so I was like, I need a diploma, so I went back. So I was in high school later. So it's not like he's a grossard who dates high school girls. It was because I had to.
Yeah.
I had to go back.
I thank you for the clarification.
Yeah, no, because that sounds really gross when you're like, oh, I was in high school and my boyfriend's in college. Like, how many? He was in his
My mom was in high school while my dad was in college.
yeah,
So
Kyle's in his second year of high school. I mean, college. So like second, like that's even worse. And I was in grade 12, so it's whatever that is. Yeah, we were 18. It's fine.
You're legal.
Yeah, legal. Yeah. I don't know. He says he was normal, but like I don't believe him.
He did seem normal. No, he did seem normal.
Does he seem normal? He doesn't seem normal to me.
He's not. He's not normal now. No,
he masked.
But back then, he was normal.
Yeah, something happened. I don't know.
Sonia.
I think it's yeah. You got yeah. He got weird because of you. Like he was normal.
I made him weird.
You maybe that's it because I feel like I made Chris weird too. Like maybe it's just we just made them comfortable to be themselves, but no, we just changed them.
We did. We're like, no, I don't like your personality. I don't like who you are. If we're gonna be together, you need to change.
Oh, that makes sense.
It does. Yeah, it all makes sense. Yeah, mistakes were made, but it's fine.
Not by us.
Yeah,
by them.
yeah. They're
they should have held on true to themselves, but they didn't.
Yeah. Sucks to be them. Our magic vaginas made them change their lives.
Probably, actually, that was probably it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, do we have any other? Do we have any? We're gonna just end on magic vaginas.
Magic vaginas.
The magic carpet ride, you know. Do we have any other Mean Girls stories to tell?
No.
I can't think of any right now. Like we ended up.
I have to like go back.
Yeah,
I have to go through photos and like figure out like who these people are. Remember exactly how they traumatized me because I think my brain like blocked it out.
I think so too. Like I was never bullied in school except for one time from a teacher. But like, I don't think she was being malicious. I think she's just trying to be nice, because she bullied me by telling everyone to be my friend. Like that was like, yeah, like she's like, oh, Sonya's gonna end up a school shooter, be her friend. Like that was like, it was like seriously, that's what she said. And so I didn't get any friends out of it.
No,
But
I don't expect so.
it was just awkward. It was an awkward class for the rest of the day.
It's funny because if I was in your class and the teacher said that, I'd be like, "Oh, that's cool,"
Oh, that's
and then
so
I want to be your
cool.
friend.
Be her friend.
Yeah.
I'd be like,
I'm
"Oh
gonna
my gosh, you might
survive
know
the
where to get a
school
gun.
shooting."
That's
Yeah.
awesome. That's black market. She knows the black market. Obviously,
Yeah,
like I would
yeah.
take that literal. Like,
I
I'm
would've been
already
your friend.
halfway to school shooting.
Just to make sure I survived and be like, can you tell me the day that you're gonna shoot
I
up
would
the
have
school
told
so I
you
can fake sick?
not to come. Like
Yeah.
that's what friends
Okay.
are for.
Okay, so Sonya's the school shooter. Dawn's the one trying to save her own life,
Yeah.
and I'm the one that's just like, that's just interesting. You sound like interesting to me. I
Look
wanna
at
know
all
your
of her.
thought
You would be
process
like,
on
"Hey,
this shooting.
how can I help you
You are
achieve this? Like, I want to be
Such
in on
a
the plan."
cheerleader. You would be like, okay, I know exactly where to go. You would hold up signs made of glitter. You go, girl. You go.
I don't mean to. I just want to help.
That's like a really not a thing you should be cheerleading, but you're there. You're like, okay.
Okay, you need a friend. I'm here for you. Okay, what are we doing?
And after you're caught and whatever, I would go on the news and be like, I can't believe this happened. But really, I was your friend.
You'll show up when the news crews show up and be like,
Yeah,
I got out. I got out.
Like, I knew that she was crazy, but like, I didn't know she was that crazy. Like,
You
I-
knew.
And
like,
I'm behind you with the sign while you're on the
You're
news.
doing a good job.
I just want to say for our listeners, we're laughing at school shootings because they're terrible,
Yeah.
and we don't want to cry about the
hundreds of kids who've died.
9 that just happened in the United States this week alone.
Yeah.
If you're mad at us talking about school shootings, wait till you hear about the fact that you guys don't have gun control.
Yeah.
Like, be mad at that. Put your energy useful.
Yeah. Or send us an email. Let us know. Like, we don't know.
Yeah. Yell at us an email for
If
it.
we
Please.
cross the line, like we say really shitty things all the time. Did we cross the line?
We did. We totally did, but it's okay.
No. You know who the real mean girls are? I'm going to end it on this.
Yeah.
Politicians.
Yes, major
Yeah.
mean girls with each
Fucking
other.
clicky.
Not just the ones in power, but like you ever watch like them discuss anything, it's just insults the whole time. That's why bills can't be passed because they're just yelling
House of Commons,
insults at
just
each other.
watch Netflix. Just watch the House of Commons, like
Like
for an
you can
hour. They're
go
just
and get
yelling
front
at
row
each other.
seats. Yeah, like you can go. It's open to everybody. You can go and watch this drama in person. Bring popcorn. Like it's
Yeah.
insane. They just yell at each other the whole time. Call each other names. Like whoever gets like the most creative name gets like claps. Like it's a game. You should
But
go.
you can't call
Well, it
someone a
is a
liar.
game because they don't. None of them want to actually pass anything. So
No.
they're like, "How do we kill time?"
Yeah.
I don't know, cunt. You fucking bitch. I mean, they don't say that because it's unparliamentary.
They just say things like, "I was with your mom last night, and we discussed that you're not very good at your job." You know, like it's implemented
Rude.
implications.
Oh, that would hurt. That is a good insult. That would hurt.
When your mother and I were together last night, we discussed
Mhm.
your
Politics.
stance on this. Decided you're not good at your job.
Your mother said she was disappointed in you.
I'll call him stepdaddy.
Okay, thank you everyone for listening, and have a good night.
Good night,
Good night.
everybody.